2 points, and Louisville by 1.
Both teams appear sharp right here.
Here's Williams on the move. Broken up. And coming up with it will be Brown. Off to Burson. He's very good in the open court. And he's not able to get it to drop. Rebound by Kimbrough.
That's Burson's game. They want an up-and-down game. He's better in the open field than facing a set defense.
And he's better shooting on the move. LaBradford Smith off to Kimbrough. Kimbrough last year out academically for Louisville. Kenny Payne is playing superbly this year. Rebound by Carter again. Just underway. Louisville the 3-2 lead. Burson looks over to Gary Williams.
Louisville man-to-man right now.
In it goes to Francis, a fiery, emotional leader. Jump hook.
Francis.
So Francis all 4 points now for the Buckeyes. They have a 1-point lead.
Ohio State really looks for Carter inside also. They need a good scoring game from him today.
Here's Williams, who again will empty into the offensive line. Payne is shooting brilliantly from three-point range. Indecisive walk to the ball. Payne coming into this game is shooting 52% from three-point range.
Both teams a little anxious right here, and you see Payne catch it in three-point range, and he pump fakes, but he drops. He moves both feet at the same time. The scissors move, we call that.
Burson at the 17:59 mark has the ball for the Buckeyes. Last 2 games, Ohio State has scored over 100 points, averaging 86 a game. Francis, tough shot. Ellison really gave him some difficulty there. It'll be Louisville's basketball.
He looks over at Gary Williams. He says, square up right, Gary? Gary says, yes.
Ellison off to LaBradford Smith, off to Williams. Williams is a southpaw. Has it broken up, and a foul will go on Jamal Brown. So Brown, who one time high jumped 6'10" in high school, outstanding athlete, has been a surprise starter this year for Gary Williams.
Look for a trap right here, Gary. Often on the side out of bounds, they'll go right into a trap.
And they did exactly that. Francis way out now on Keith Williams.
Ohio State is straight man-to-man right here after the inbound.
Ellison can't handle a pass from Payne. Ohio State's got it. Third turnover now against the Cardinals, and that is going to be a blocking foul on LaBradford Smith. And he's shaken up. He is hurt his left leg.
Looked like he got a knee right in the thigh or right on his knee. Burson makes a good move here. And then Smith just kind of leaned into him, hooked him with that knee.
You wouldn't think a 155-pounder could knock anybody backwards.
He looked like a fullback going through there.
LaBradford Smith is all right, picking up the foul. Out it comes now to Tony White.
Excellent defense by Louisville on that inbounds play, as they just had no chance for a scoring opportunity.
Now they come way out on Burson. Off to White. Good pressure defense. Very good defense. White, second thought, puts it up. And we're going to have a foul on the top going against Louisville and against LaBradford Smith. That's his second personal.
A really tough call. You like your players to play with that kind of aggressiveness. White had nothing to do but shoot the ball as everyone was covered. But you can see the reaction of the crowd to this foul right here. There's no question the contact was made without him having a hand on the ball.
Into Tony White. Ellison commits the foul, and White's got the basket. Good inside positioning against this All-American. And Tony White now with a chance for a three-point play.
Ohio State really going inside with that ball and challenging Louisville, who normally has great inside defense, Gary. If anybody can sky block shots, Louisville can.
Here's Everett Sullivan, a freshman coming in, replacing the sophomore LaBradford Smith, who checks out with the 2 fouls. Ohio State with 6 unanswered points, and Payne with a rebound. 6-3 in favor of the Buckeyes. Payne has it stripped. And eventually Burson able to come up with 4 turnovers now against the Cardinals. Harry Carter comes down to the ball. That'll be traveling.
The ball flipped out of his hand, Gary. He went up for the shot. The ball got away from him.
Crum, who's averaged 24 wins a year, will bring in Felton Spencer, the 7-footer, number 50, as Payne will check out of the ball game.
Here's the press. They try to bring it in, get the zone to shift to one side, and then reverse it back to the weak side.
Here's Everett Sullivan out of South Carolina. Good shooter. He nails that one. He's been suffering with bursitis in his shoulder. Didn't seem to affect that shot.
Great elevation on his jump shot.
Burson is really being trapped in the backcourt. Nice pass to Francis, and that's what Burson does.
He passed that right under two men's chin.
6 points in the game now for Francis. 8-5 in favor of the Buckeyes. Here's Everett Sullivan, the runner-up for Mr. Basketball in South Carolina. Ellison able to score. Pervis Ellison coming off of a 26-point game Thursday against Southern Mississippi. His first 2 points. There's the pressing defense. Kimbrough to Williams.
Louisville right back into the press now. A 2-2-1 full court.
And so now the Cardinals with a 1-point lead. That pass broken up by Felton Spencer. And the crowd really into it now. And we're going to have a timeout. 15:28 to go in this first half. A home-standing Cardinals by 1.
Isn't it amazing that no matter how strong and healthy your teeth are, you could still lose them to gum disease? That's why Crest, along with the American Dental Association, recommends that you start fighting gum disease now. Just brush and floss regularly, and above all, see your dentist, because the best way to hold on to your teeth is to take care of your gums. Make sure your body is as strong tomorrow as it is today.
This message is brought to you with the approval of the American Dental Association by Crest, the dentist's choice.
Users of nasal sprays invariably encounter the same problem.
Morning, boys.
Sprays that roll back in their throat or drip out of their nose. To avoid this, they'll do just about anything. But this man has Sinex Ultrafine Mist. Its medicine doesn't roll back or drip out. It goes up and stays up, and that makes it better. So try Sinex Ultrafine Mist. It goes up and stays up. From Vicks, of course.
Our son James got this Cutlass Supreme SL because it has front-wheel drive, FE3 suspension, and because tests prove the new T-Berg LX and Cougar LS just don't stop as fast. And James just loves a nice fast break.
This is not your mother's automobile.
Go for it, Mom.
This is the new generation.
ABC's college basketball continues with a Big Ten tip-off. The high-flying Michigan Wolverines take on the Boilermakers of Purdue. Coming up next.
Bigger players, Kimbrough and Sullivan up front in this press, can really cause some trouble for the smaller Burson. He needs to get rid of that ball before he gets into the trap.
Boy, he really came out of that one well, though,
What a great play on the end of that as he picked up that loose ball and threaded the needle for the assist.
So after the TV timeout, it's now 9-8 in favor of the Cardinals. Ohio State with the basketball. Burson, bodies hitting the floor. That's Sullivan on the floor. Baseline, Carter. Carter looks a little tentative. Rebound now cleared by Fulton Spencer.
Jerry, with Spencer in the game, it should create some problems for Ohio State defensively. They've got White on Ellison and Carter guarding Spencer. Sure gives him a height advantage.
Kimbrough nails it. He had hit 11 of these last 17 three-pointers, and he just hit one there. 4-point lead now for the Cardinals. Kimbrough's been a real surprise, his outside shooting. Carter missing again, and again Spencer was in the area. Everett Sullivan on the move. He's only been able to practice one time in the last 10 days due to the shoulder. Spencer is fouled, and the foul is going to go on Jamal Brown.
Unbelievable pass by Ellison as he spun, really looking for the shot, but he saw Spencer underneath. What a great pass. Here he gets the ball. Now he's looking for the shot when he goes up. And there's Spencer wide open underneath. He draws the foul. Just a good heads-up play by Ellison. A good, strong move by Spencer.
Jamal Brown, his second foul. Gary Williams makes a change now. Eli Brewster, number 22, will replace Brown. Brewster is a Prop 48 kid who's now starting to really come on for Coach Williams. getting a lot of confidence in his play.
Well, Gary, they expect a lot from several of these young players, and they've got a host of them on that bench.
Well, that Prop 48, long time to get the guys back physically, mentally, and involved in what you're trying to do.
Well, they mature, but they don't pick up any skills. In fact, they develop some bad habits when they're away from the team, and that's why a lot of coaches are pushing for allowing them to practice.
Louisville now with a 6-point lead. Francis cut off at the baseline by Spencer, and he threw it back court.
That's over and back.
And so now that will be the 4th turnover against Ohio State. All of a sudden now, this pressure defense really has taken Ohio State out of their offense. They've been very tentative, especially Perry Carter inside. They haven't really gotten him involved yet.
They got off to a good start. Now they're kind of rushing their offense. There was the trap again on the side out of bounds by Ohio State.
14:26 to go in this first half. 14-8 on Burson. As he cuts up the floor, hits the deck.
Tough break for Burson.
Yep.
He stepped on something on the floor there, probably a damp spot. He just slipped, feet got out from under it.
So the guy who looks like a camper comes in and plays like an All-American. Burson is something special to watch.
Now, Ohio State's in the zone here, and they'll trap just as soon as that ball comes inbound.
And Spencer has it batted away. Sullivan loads it up and shoots it. Rebound by Carter, broken up by Kimbrough. To Ellison. Spencer over the back, comes away with it. He's fouled. They're going to wave the basket off. The basket will not count. But you talk about tenacity and going after the board.
Great advantage for Louisville on the boards. They really go to the offensive board. Ohio State is going to have a job keeping them on.
Tony White committed the foul. 2 free throws coming for Spencer. Spencer vastly improved. In the last 5 games, he's been averaging 10 points and 5 rebounds. He is 3 of 3 now from the free throw line.
Louisville varies their press, Gary. Not all the time. Uh-oh.
Wait a minute.
Action on the bench right here now, Gary.
And Gary Williams has Phil Bolda's attention. And they're going to count the free throw, even though the whistle, of course, was blown, and we're going to have a technical foul against Ohio State's Gary Williams.
Gary Williams was protesting that rough play under the basket. And you could have called 4 or 5 fouls, Gary. But the officials are pretty much letting them play. But when the foul went against his team and Spencer stepped to the line, it was just too much for him. And he worked that official over one statement too long.
And so we're going to take a break. 16-8. Louisville now has run off 11 straight points. We'll be back.
You know what moms are like. You bring home a new guy, they put their foot down. Come home a little late, they put their foot down. Well, my mom's no different. I get this great new Oldsmobile Cutlass Calais with a quad 4 engine. And what does she do? You got it.
This is not your father's Oldsmobile.
I put my foot down.
Uh-oh.
This is a new generation of old.
Call mint kills plaque germs. But how does it taste? Call mint fights plaque buildup.
But how does it taste?
Plaque fighting, Call mint.
But how does it taste?
Tastes great.
Like my mouth took a shower.
Refreshing.
A mint that lasts.
A great tasting way to fight plaque.
I'm State Farm Agent Jim Cornwell. When I first insured John and Susan Rager, I told them my job was just beginning. Now there's a new car in the family, a new home, and a new Rager, John Lawton. We just got together for a family insurance checkup. That's State Farm's way of helping you keep up with all your changing insurance needs. Because if you're anything like the Ragers, things can change pretty fast.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Moments ago, Gary Williams assessed a technical foul. Upset about it all, and now not only did the free throw count while the whistle was blown, but they lose possession of the ball. And Very wisely now, Denny Crum brings LaBradford Smith in as a substitute to shoot the technical free throws. He's the best free throw shooter they have. He's hit 25 of his last 27 from the line. Now, Ohio State, by the way, did ask for the timeout after all of that. Well, Gary Williams upset about how rough it was under the basket, and right now 4 free throws and still possession to Louisville.
You know, Gary Williams is a fiery coach on that bench, and he transfers that tenacity to his team, Gary, and that's good. And he'll call these timeouts when he feels like Louisville's going on a run.
And they're on a run right now. They have a 10-point lead, and
he called it a controlled pass as Ellison was in the front court, and he went up and back into the backcourt. It was a good call.
And so the ball goes over to Ohio State. This is what he didn't want, Joe, was those surges, those little spurts. Right now, Louisville has 13 points.
Really an offensive problem with it. Because that's a shot like there. Of course, he the foul, which is
number 50 with a foul.
Carter is really covered in here, front and back, as he gets the tag help coming in the front. And Spencer really an obstacle to shoot over right there.
Only 7-footer to ever play for Louisville. His first foul, 4th team foul. Now, Carter needs to get started well. When he starts well, he plays well. The other night against Northwestern, he had his first 8 shots from the field, finished with 25 points. But struggling here this afternoon thus far.
Gary, he should have fanned that ball out right then and not force his play and wait till he gets a couple of easy ones.
Grady Mateen, the 7-footer, will now come in, and Tony White will check out. Mateen, an excellent shooter, had a brilliant game earlier this year against Wisconsin, scoring 20 points. So White will sit down. 13:51 left in the first half, and that one's going to go back to Louisville. Good pressure by Mateen and Burson.
They put pressure on the ball in their 1-2-2 full court press right here. Louisville wants to get the ball to Ellison because he's tall and can pass out that trail.
Up it comes now LaBradford Smith. LaBradford Smith playing more under control. He used to try to do too much for this team.
He has 2 fouls on him, Gary. I'm sure he doesn't want to pick up that third one.
Kimbrough out to Everett Sullivan. Sullivan back to Tony Kimbrough. He's a new man. He has started to nail those shots with great confidence.
Louisville's got that good inside-outside balance right now, and that's what Ohio State needs. They're forcing everything inside.
20-9 in favor of the Cardinals. Into Burson. Burson, nice bounce pass inside to Carter, and he's fouled.
Burson really sees that floor well, Jerry, and he draws the defense with his dribble. He knows how to attack a man, make him commit to him, and then pass that ball off. They say he's not a point guard, but he sure does the things you like for a point guard to do.
Spencer committed the foul. He comes out of the ball game now, and Kenny Payne replaces him. Carter with 2 free throws coming, 1 of 2 thus far. Carter is out of the Washington, D.C. area. He started last year. This year his numbers are up, averaging 14.5 points and 8 rebounds. Just starting really to come on his own.
Does everybody in Washington, D.C. play great basketball, Gary?
There's some good ones. Again, the pressure. They get it into Ellison. Off to LaBradford Smith. Kimbrough. And Tony Kimbrough has really sparked this Louisville team.
Gary, that's the way to attack a press. Take it to the hole. Burn that press.
Boy, they just blitzed it. 22-11. 7 points in the game for Kimbrough. Burson, running jumper. He got it.
I think Louisville's doing a better job getting back after their press.
And Ellison has gone baseline, and a foul is going to go on the baseline against Eli Brewster.
Well, Louisville just breaks this press. Ellison, long pass, and then kick it to the middle to Smith, and just simply fast break 2-on-1.
You can't break pressure any quicker than they are right now.
I don't think that Ohio State is getting back and covering those lanes fast enough.
Pervis Ellison, who's 6'9", but he plays like he's 7 foot because of those long arms. Burson. Ellison almost got a piece of it. Carter tries to follow. Smith's got it. Beautiful break to Sullivan.
Gary's going to call another timeout.
Things are not going well for the Buckeyes of Ohio State.
This is a machine built for absolute dependability. And these are its hardest working parts, each meeting the highest performance standards, providing continuous, reliable service. The mechanics of American Airlines, uncompromising professionals, dedicated to perfection, flight after flight after flight.
My son Icky got this Cutlass Supreme SL because it has front-wheel drive, FE3 suspension, and because tests proved that the new T-Bird LX and Cougar LS just couldn't run the slalom as fast. That kid, he's got all the moves.
This is not your father's automobile.
I learned it from you, Mom.
This is the new generation of old.
What's that? He's got our flashlight. Over there.
Good monkey. But Ed said Bud Light.
If you want the one light that outshines them all, ask for Bud Light, because everything else is just a light.
So hard to get good help.
The excitement of the World Alpine Ski Championships begins with the men's downhill, plus top pairs in the World Challenge of Champions on ABC's Wide World of Sports Saturday.
We talked about Denny Crum winning 2 national championships in the decade of the 80s. Look at this. Number 2 and wins 24.2. That's if you've coached at least 5 seasons. Does not include the statistics of this year. Tarkanian won, Boeheim, and then comes John Chaney, along with Dean Smith and John Thompson. 24.2. He has averaged that per year, and he's well on his way to that again this season. 26-13 in favor of the Cardinals of Louisville, and Carter is fouled by Ellison.
Very good job by Ohio State, very patiently picking that press apart.
Second foul on Pervis Ellison. That's the 16th foul now against the Cardinals.
Ohio State has settled down right here and work the clock a little bit and get a good shot. I don't think they rush in their offense.
Francis gets it into Grady Mateen. Pearson, every time he gets the ball, he's got double trouble around him in a hurry, doesn't he?
Well, his lack of height makes him vulnerable to that trap, and Louisville's taking advantage of it.
Out it comes to Burson. Everett Sullivan picking him up. This is Cornelius Holden, who jumps up in the face of Brewster, who missed the shot. Francis baseline. Rejected.
He's got to fan it out, Garrett.
Ellison with his 55th block of the year. Rebound by Payne. Into Cornelius Holden, one of the 3 freshmen playing so well for Denny Crum. This is the other one, Sullivan, and then James Brewer, who's still on the bench.
We're seeing a contrast in patience offensively here, Gary, and Louisville winds up with a good shot.
Louisville team lost their first 2 of the year. Last-second buzzer beaters, and now have won 14 in a row. 3-pointer. And Mateen goes high for the rebound.
Louisville in his zone that time. Ohio State in his zone that time.
Boy, Ellison went high for that one, didn't he? Burson never saw the basket.
Well, Francis picks it up inside, but there's people all around him. And when Ellison's around, you better fan it out.
He's the all-time leading shot blocker in Metro Conference history, the number 2 scorer in the U of L history. Only Darrell Griffith has scored more. Burson, there's his patented moving shot. He loves to shoot off the move.
Well, it's an outside shot. They haven't taken many. And they've got to loosen that Louisville defense up with a little 3-point shooting.
26-15 in favor of the Cardinals. We've now approached the 10:45 mark of this first half. Bradford Smith inside to Holden, and Mateen's got it.
A little wrinkle to Ohio State's zone. It's kind of like a point drop, but they're setting 2-1-2.
Eli Brewster, who came in about 15 pounds overweight after missing last season, starting to play with the kind of flair they expected from him.
2 outside shots the last 2 times down the floor. Maybe Gary's got the same idea we have.
Payne gets it into Ellison. They front him, but makes no difference. They can't block that shot. He released it so high, and it's 28-17.
Ohio State plays behind the post and tries to get help from outside. Ellison kind of likes that because he gets up so well on his jump shot.
Brewster gets it off to Grady Mateen. That ball may have been deflected. You talk about getting up above the rim. They are playing up there now. So Brewster will reset it. Brewster out of the Columbus area, played at Worley High School. Burson backing into Sullivan. And inside a collision, and Burson ran over Ellison. 155 pounds of him, and he's called for the foul. That's twice he's run over somebody. Quit picking on those guys.
Burson saying, how can I foul? You know, that big bruiser sitting up out. How can I foul him? He didn't like that call at all.
Well, Pervis Ellison is 6'9", 205 pounds. This guy, as he told us, he's 6 foot in tennis shoes, weighs 155 pounds. It just doesn't figure, does it?
Oh, it sure doesn't. Maybe he's proud of himself, though, Greg.
Substitution. Ellison will come out of the ball game now. Keith Williams into the game along with Holden, Payne. Also Tony Kimbrough.
Just a soft press here by Ohio State. Just a little harassment coming up the floor. Ohio State's in this point drop right here now.
9.5 minutes to go in the first half. And it goes to Holden, who's the best leaper on this team, and that says something on a team like this. Here's Sullivan on the move. Rebound, ripped down, and here comes Burson with it. Good play that time by Trig Lee, who's just checked in. Burson, there's that little floating jumper again.
Ball has no spin on it at all, Gary. Just a dead ball going up to that basket.
Sullivan on the move again, and right now, Louisville may be a little out of control.
It sure is strange how this momentum switches back and forth.
Burson moves inside. Another one of those little dead shots. The ball has no spin again.
There was no path to the basket for that shot. He shot that around the man and caught a lip of the rim, and it rolled in.
And all of a sudden, the Buckeyes are within 7. Three-pointer by Payne and a rebound. They're one and done right now as Louisville not able to get any offensive boards. Mateen's in trouble and needs help. Gets it off to Burson. Lead pass to Trig Lee, and it's going to be saved in by Kimbrough to Keith Williams. Payne again. Payne not hitting that jumper. Breakaway, Trig Lee. So it looked like Louisville was going to run away from this Buckeye team. Now it's 28-23.
I'm impressed how Ohio State has got control of their game now and have gotten back into it. And I think this zone defense has helped them. It's really put them stronger on the board, and it allows Lee to drop back in front the low post.
6 straight points for Ohio State as Kimbrough misses, Payne follows, and there's a foul. Coming up next, West Lafayette, Indiana will be switching there. Michigan, who's really been struggling the last 2 games, going against the defending Big Ten champion Boilermakers of Purdue. Gene Cady, boy, and you get into his home court, you know you're going to have quite a struggle.
Gary, you got to remember that Coach Gary Williams told us that sometimes Burson is a slow starter. He just doesn't have the confidence early in the game. And then he begins to come on, and the team starts to roll. And that's practically what we've seen so far.
Gary Williams brings in Bill Robinson, a 7-foot freshman, and gets Mateen out of there. Getting Robinson his big body inside. Try to negate some of that leaping ability of Louisville.
Well, Louisville's really got a small lineup in there right now.
Keith Williams missing. They're taking those perimeter shots. They're not going, and Ohio State's getting on the boards. That was Robinson with the rebound. Trig Lee again. And Trig Lee able to have presence of mind, not commit the charging foul, and it's now a 28-25 game, 8 unanswered points by Ohio State.
Then he seems very comfortable with Ellison still on the bench, and Spencer.
This is Brewer, James Brewer, a freshman, and that ball banded out of bounds by Tony White. The Cardinals will have it. Felton Spencer will come back in now for the Cardinals. Cornelius Holden will check out. Gary Williams has masterminded a comeback in this game. 7 minutes remaining in the first half.
Gary, this will be interesting between Robinson and Spencer here. Both of them about the same size.
Here is Brewer. He'll bring it out. Brewer is out of Bardstown, Kentucky. One of 3 freshmen that Denny Crum uses extensively. Brewer from outside, 3-point attempt, and again they can't hit him. Follow, nice follow that time by Kenny Payne.
Great follow by Kenny Payne. He really went to the offensive board. The ball came right to him. But that's good. That's good play to crash that offensive board from that wing.
Person that time is fouled by Payne, and Payne thought he had all ball on that one. But Phil Bova says no, and Payne has committed the foul.
Well, Burson is one of the best in the league at drawing the foul, as he's shot twice as many free throws as any other player on the floor today. I'll tell you, there was a lot of hand on a lot of ball right there, Gary. Burson's lucky to be at the line, I believe.
Well, he's an excellent free throw shooter, shooting 89%. As you see, Brewster checking out. Brown is back in. Kenny Payne committing his first foul as Burson at the line out of New Concord, Ohio. His dad, Jim, is the head coach at Muskingum College.
Let's watch him stepping into his free throw, Gary. He stays off of the line until the referee hands him the ball. And it fits in with his liking to shoot on the move. He kind of steps in and shoots the ball.
Well, if you're shooting 89%, keep doing it, right?
Hey, maybe we should practice that. We'll patent that.
And he has 10 points in this comeback, and the Buckeyes now down by 3. Person with 10 points. He's now scored in double figures in 31 straight games. Last time he didn't was against Wisconsin last February 12th when he was 0 for 10 from the field. Here's Keith Williams. And the Buckeyes try to get it out of there, and it's going to be off of Louisville. It'll be Ohio State's ball. Boy, what a turnaround in this game.
You know, Gary, we're going to watch this foul situation. Spencer and Ellison and Smith all have 2, and 3 put you in a critical situation in the first half.
That time, Jamal Brown can't track it down. Here comes Payne at the other end of Brewer. Kimbrough brings it back out to Brewer. Inside, 6 minutes left in the first half.
Danny Crum's going to feel good if he can preserve this lead with this matchup in there.
Jumping into the zone now is Ohio State. Williams, baseline to Payne. Try to reverse it. A foul inside. Spencer follows, but that won't count.
Well, Louisville is really on that offensive board, Gary. But they miss Ellison in there right now as far as their firepower goes.
Brady Mitchell committing a personal foul. And Spencer will go to the line. Spencer is an amazing story from the free throw line. His freshman year, he only shot 49%. He pumped it up to 64 last year, and now this year up to 73%. That's just sheer determination by the 7-footer to improve from the free throw line. And today he's 4 of 4, and we just jinxed him.
You did it again, Joe.
Rebound followed by Brewer, and another foul. So pushing inside.
That may be 3 on
I think it is on Spencer. Spencer has committed the foul. It's his 3rd.
Danny Crum looking down his bench right now. And it's been rough in under that basket. There's been a lot of pushing and shoving going on. And Spencer just goes up. I don't know who it was. It looked like White got nailed. Let's see who's at the free throw line.
That's who it's going to be, Tony White. Denny Crum not happy about that development. You alluded earlier to the foul difficulty. Now Spencer has 3.
And Smith is playing in the game with 2 fouls right now. So I'm sure Denny doesn't want him picking up his 3rd in this first half.
Tony White is 75% free throw shooter. This team, Ohio State, shoots 75% from the line. They shoot well from the field, the 3-point line. They have just executed extremely well. And it's a 1-point game.
Full court press here. It's a tentative press. They're not really just pressing with their guards. They've dropped back in the zone in the front court.
5:19 left in the first half. 30-29. LaBradford Smith now. Bradford plays it into the corner to Kimbrough.
Louisville probably looking for a 3-point shot here.
Good ball movement. Shakes Kimbrough loose. Looked like he hurried it a little bit. Looked like Spencer tries to follow, and Spencer is fouled.
This time, Patton gets him. Yep. So they just traded fouls the last 2 times down the floor. Bradford's not showing any fear with those 3 fouls on him. He's still aggressive and going at that ball.
Change coming now. Perry Carter comes in replacing him. So Spencer took ballet lessons to prove his agility. He's played well, as we said, the last 5 games. In fact, Denny Crum said he's never had a player improve more than this guy has.
He sure has. He's the hardest worker and the most improved they've got. And just a fine young man off the court.
There's a runner-up to Rex Chapman for Mr. Basketball in Kentucky. And, of course, Chapman now in the NBA.
They're entirely different types, but they've really made great improvement.
32-29 for the Cardinals. Jamal Brown gets it off to Burson. Gary Francis, one of the tri-captains for Ohio State. Big heart. Brings it back out to Brown again, and Brown looks over to Gary Williams.
Showing patience right here offensively. They've got the ball in the hands of Burson right now. And
the cutter over the middle is Francis. Tough shot. And look at Burson. Look at him go after the ball. Coming up with it is Kimbrough.
He would have had that ball if he had down.
Bradford was hung up in the air, got it off to Kimbrough. Williams thought that Smith traveled to the ball, but instead Louisville with a basket and the charging foul. So Kimbrough will be awarded the basket, and Kimbrough then, of course, given the charging call.
Pervis Ellison, number 42, replaces Kelvin Spencer, number 50, and Everett Sullivan.
Gary Burson's one of the best going after these loose balls. He picks up a lot of loose balls. He slipped and fell right there. He's still crawling. He's still going and trying. But Louisville comes up with it. And here's the fast break. And no question about it, Kimbrough comes in and makes the charge.
And the recipient of that foul, Perry Carter, hits his first free throw. Cuts it back to 4 points. Kimbrough now, should say Carter now, 3 of 4 from the line. Kimbrough with 9 points in the game. And now, for the first time, James Bradley, sophomore out of Columbus, who is a transfer from Miami of Ohio, replaces Burson. So Burson, at the 4:20 mark, will get a breather. 34-31 in favor of the Cardinals, who tried to win their 15th in a row, and it's still number 1 ranking in the country. If they win here, you figure to have them ranked number 1 come Monday morning. Kimbrough's shot partially blocked, and it still fell. Carter committing the foul. Kimbrough now with 11 points.
Well, he catches it in a sweet spot right in the lane. You don't want to give the man the ball in that paint. But he breaks in there wide open. Beautiful pass inside. And he does a nice jump hook right here. But the main thing is the position that Ohio State allowed him to establish in the middle of that lane. Against the zone, that shouldn't be allowed. I wonder, Gary, with Burson on the bench, if this isn't probably a critical part of the game for Ohio State. Down 6 and Burson on the bench.
Well, Brown and Bradley will try to handle the ball in the backcourt in his absence. 37-31, 6-point lead for Louisville. Inside 4 minutes left in the first half. Jamal Brown, steal attempt by Smith. Bradley misses, and Ellison's got the rebound.
Intimidation by Ellison. Certainly threw that shot off.
But Bradford Smith out to Payne, and Payne not hitting that shot today. Off it comes to Jerry Francis. Francis will back it back out. Boy, he is the inspirational leader on this team, Jerry Francis.
But he had Pervis Ellison right behind him in that lane.
Here is Bradley. Bradley brings it out to Carter. Francis, whose first 2 years played a power forward, now the small forward, broken up. Bradley commits the foul.
Gary, I'm telling you, Bradley looked to see where Ellison was before he put that shot up.
Well, was out of bounds, but Ted Hillary is kind of about 30 minutes on Bradley.
Bradley makes a nice penetration. He was in the position for a high percentage shot, but that presence of Ellison under that basket is an intimidating factor to these Ohio State shooters.
And Bradley will knock it down. He can shoot it very well. And here comes Burson back in. So Burson was out for 1 minute and 20 seconds. Bradley will come out after Gary Williams saw exactly what you were talking about. He didn't like the way he was intimidated.
and the bonus.
So at the line now, LaBradford Smith. He has 5 points. He's 2 of 2 from the line.
And he's a designated free throw shooter. We saw that when Denny Crum put him in to shoot those technicals. Into the game during that stretch caused a lot of that.
The Louisville's been able to shoot the three-pointer well, but only 2 for 9 thus far. Francis can't get it, and Kimbrough's got the rebound.
He tried to shoot over Ellison.
Ellison seemingly everywhere, deflected out of bounds by Jerry Francis. Cardinals will reset it at the 2:46 mark. One thing about Louisville that's made them so tough this year is they have an inside and an outside game. They've been able to shoot so well from three-point range, but today, momentarily, it has deserted them.
You know, a great jumper defensively like Ellison, you either have to take the ball into him to get your shot or back up where he's not an intimidating factor.
That was an air ball by Sullivan at three-point range. Francis, the basket will count, and he's going to be called for charging. So Francis with the foul, but got the basket.
By Francis, the foul is on Francis.
8 points now for Jerry Francis.
Well, Francis can waste one. That's his first. And here he goes. And Smith in his path, good defensive stance, and there's the charge. But it didn't affect Francis's shot. He stayed with his shot, forgot about the defense, and made the basket, and that's important.
Smith misses his first free throw. He was 4 of 4 up to that point. 39-33. Jamal Brown on the move. Outstanding athlete out of Arlington, Texas. Sam Houston High School.
Great pressure by Kimbrough. What a defensive man. He's got as good a lateral motion movement as a much smaller player would have. I really like his defense.
Well, he calls him his best defensive forward, and evidence there as you were talking about it right here at the 2-minute mark. 39-33 in favor of Louisville. Brown trying to look inside, gets it to Francis. Ellison on him. Off to Burson. Burson, nice head fake. Baseline, had to change it. Tried to get it to Mateen, and instead Kimbrough's got it. 9 turnovers against the Buckeyes. LaBradford, boy, that was a hot one. It's batted out of bounds by Ohio State. Coming up at halftime, we're going to take a look at Jay Burson, kind of give you an insight on this 6-foot, 155-pounder. And also we'll be switching to West Lafayette, Indiana. Keith Jackson will give us a report on that upcoming game between Michigan and Purdue. 39-33 the score here. 142 in a furious game from Freedom Hall in Louisville. Gary Bender along with Joe B. Hall as Louisville with a chance to become the #1 ranked team in the country if they'd win here today. LaBradford Smith, three-pointer. Rebound Francis. Francis, what a competitor he is.
He's all over the floor. He's really a winner. He plays his best in the big games. And he's an emotional leader for the Ohio State team.
Gary Williams said he's never had a tougher opponent. Nice pass into Trig Lee. And Lee, another one of those Prop 48 guys out of Cleveland, able to put it away.
And that's what I was saying about taking it to Ellison. You're much better off taking it right into him and inviting him to foul than trying to play loose and shoot it over his outstretched hand.
This is Sullivan, who missed there earlier. This is a two-pointer. 41-35. Everett Sullivan now with 6 points.
Everett Sullivan, one of the outstanding freshmen in the country.
Uh-oh, Ellison's hurt. Ellison's hurt as Burson scored. He did the splits as he tried to reach for the ball, and right now, Denny Crum can hardly look on.
This is one of those moments that a coach's heart is in his throat, Gary. Denny Crum does not want to know. Dr. Rudy Ellis is attending him on the floor, and it looked like a knee buckle, Gary. I hope not.
He split. He got the splits. He was at such an awkward position, and as an end result, they're looking at that left knee. Boy, I tell you, that is a moment in this season that could be the difference between a national championship.
Let's see if we can see right here, Gary, what happens. But no one was around. He slipped. He slipped with his right foot and did the splits and bent that knee inwardly. And that's a dangerous thing for the knee. Look at this crowd, Gary. Everyone on their feet here. People clad in red all over this fairgrounds.
They're standing. Everyone is standing. They have cut off the knee support. We were talking about Louisville trying to possibly win their 3rd national championship in the decade of the 80s. The 49ers know what that's all about, winning 3 Super Bowls. But if this guy can't continue, you can forget about a national championship.
Well, let's don't be too pessimistic right now. But he definitely sprained that knee with that move right there. Now they're coming out with a support brace that they're going to use just to get him off the floor. They don't want any more motion to that knee joint than they can possibly have to keep down the swelling.
So Pervis Ellison, whose goal this year was to be the #1 draft pick in the NBA, who was a strong candidate to be Player of the Year along with the Danny Ferries and the Sean Elliott's. And right now, again, almost a pall has come over Freedom Hall. Everyone has just stopped, and they're standing, watching to see the extent of the injury to Pervis Ellison.
Well, I think what we're seeing right here, Gary, is just precaution until they get the knee examined. They're just going to make sure that they don't hurt it any further. But here it is again, and watch his left foot slip, and that puts his right foot slip, and that put his left knee in a real bind on an inward force.
What that reminds me of, Joe, they're so cognizant of wiping up any kind of water on the floor or any perspiration for that very reason. Kids can slip on it. You wonder sometimes why a ball boy or somebody runs on the floor with a towel, and there's maybe a reason. Maybe there was a slick spot there. I don't know. But
wonder when we're going to upgrade that system, Gary, of wiping up the floor. You know, that's kind of antiquated, and maybe they need a special piece of equipment for that. But this is the 3rd slip we've seen tonight, 2 by Burson.
Well, he's up, and obviously we'll find out as soon as possible what the extent of his injury is. Standing ovation for Pervis Ellison, who is freshman year, led the Cardinals to the national championship and is the MVP.
Well, I feel for Pervis Ellison more than anyone right now, but I've got to think what's going through Denny Crum's mind and how he feels, because he had his team playing peak basketball during these last 2 months, Gary.
Well, as we mentioned, if they win today, they'd go unbeaten for December and January, and Denny Crum has never had a Louisville team do that in his 18 years. So now the crowd trying to overcome this major setback with 37 seconds left in the first half. 41-37 in favor of the Cardinals.
You know, Denny kept Ellison out of the game with those 2 fouls for a long time, and then put him right back here at the end of the first half. I know he feels second-guessing himself. He wished he'd left him on the bench.
So the Cardinals...
Like Ohio State was going to go right to Carter with Holder and Gardner, and they were really battling for position in that low post.
Louisville led by as many as 13 in the first half. Looked like they had this game really going their way. And then Burson and company brought them back. LaBradford Smith. Out it comes to Payne, and they hit one after missing 10 in a row from 3-point range.
Well, he's got to pick up some of that slack, Gary.
Payne did not play well in that first half. Not up to the standards that he has set for himself this year. 44-37 in favor of the Cardinals. Burson, nice pass to White. Holton tried to block it, but Burson just did a superb job.
You know, he responds like a little man should. He drove in there knowing he was going to pass that ball off, that he couldn't get it up over all those big men inside.
Keith Williams backs it out to LaBradford Smith. The Cardinals have won 14 in a row. LaBradford being pressured now by Jamal Brown. Inside it goes to Holton. Followed by Kimbrough. You can see the determined look on this Cardinal team as they start the second half. They know their leader's out of there. 46-39. And it goes to Carter, and Carter is fouled by Keith Williams.
A great play right here by Louisville on this missed shot. Watch number 44 go to the offensive board. Tony Kimbrough, great timing, adjust his hands to the ball while he was in the air and got that foul. And this Louisville team normally is a great offensive board team. And they've come out with a new aggressiveness start this second half.
Carter had hit 5 of his first 6. Misses on that one. Carter is the guy that, as we said, needed to start well, to play well, and he has not today, and he is struggling, and Gary Williams needs him. Missed them both. Rebound, Tony White. Tipped up by Carter. So you miss 2 free throws. What do? You come back and tip one in. 46-41. Three-pointer again, and Payne misses this one. Burson goes up against Kimbrough, and Kimbrough commits the foul.
You know, Burson hangs around outside and looks for those 3-point rebounds, Gary. He's averaging 4.8 rebounds a game, and I think that's the most amazing statistic he has.
He got up on that one, didn't he?
He sure did. But he's smart and clever on that offensive board.
Off it comes to Burson. Got it somehow to Tony White, who'll bring it outside.
They take it away from him. He just keeps after, just keeps following, comes up with that ball.
Jamal Brown to Burson. He'll load it up. 3-point attempt. And Holden, who's the best leaper on the team, goes up, and he's fouled by Francis. Cornelius Holden can really get up in the air. He's 6'7", played out at Crenshaw High School in Los Angeles. As Francis commits his second personal foul.
Francis, number 44, is second, team second.
5-point lead for the Cardinals. Just underway in the second half. Payne brings it back out to Keith Williams.
Ohio State still in this zone with Francis playing the middle, and he'll front the low post when it comes inside.
Into Kimbrough, shooting over Carter. Carter with the rebound. Carter, big, strong, 240-pounder.
Ohio State with really good defensive rebound position out of this zone if they just block out.
Gary Williams orchestrating the play from the far side. Brown's got it, puts it into play. Burson with LaBradford Smith on him. Pass inside to Francis. There was a little intimidation by Holden, who went up in the air. Williams on the move, out of control, and he is fouled, a blocking foul. So Williams fouled. Jamal Brown has committed the foul. That's his third.
The ball is on Brown, number 30.
Williams really pushing the ball down floor. He loses the ball when the contact occurs, but there was movement by the defense.
And Brown with his third foul. Payne gets it into Holden. Holden forces it in. First 2 points of the game for Cornelius Holden, starting in place of the injured Pervis Ellison. Here's Burson on the move. Rebound, Williams. Nice change by Williams. Off to Kimbrough. Holden's got it. And he may be the man now. LaBradford Smith with the steal to Williams. Changed his shot because of Tony White, but he got it back and he's fouled. It'll be Tony White with the foul.
Gary, I wonder if Holden is assuming the role of Ellison. What a great leaper he is, both defensively and on that offensive board.
Well, he comes from quite a high school background. Crenshaw, where the guys like Marcus Johnson have come from, along with John Williams. But now Keith Williams is at the line. He'll have a pair of free throws coming.
Didn't Denny Crump tell us he was the best jumper on these
The best sleeper, without question. Now, that's really saying something when you talk about
you got Ellison in that lineup, but it sure speaks well for Holden. He's really done a good job to start the second half.
You get the feeling Denny Crump challenged him. Said, we're without Ellison. You got to bring it up to the next level.
There's an aggressive press by Louisville.
10-point lead now for the Louisville Cardinals. We played 4 minutes of the second half, and now we have a pushing off foul on Tony Kimbrough.
The foul is on Kimbrough.
That's his third personal foul. We're going to have a timeout. 15:54 to go in the game. Louisville has bumped it to 10.
Pervis Ellison has a sprained ligament.
Seconds to go in the first half. Ohio State was on the move. A pass thrown out of the reach of Burson, and Pervis Ellison slips and sprains a medial collateral ligament in his left knee. We've been told he is now getting whirlpool treatment, will not return to the game today, and it's very hard this time to diagnose the extent of the injury.
Well, we certainly don't know enough about it, Gary, and knees are funny things. I'm sure that they'll try to give him treatment and see how he responds to that treatment. If in his rehabilitation he doesn't get swelling, well, that's a good sign. But if he continues to have a problem with it, why, that's going to prolong his recovery.
Belton Spencer in the ball game, but a nice reverse move that time by Jerry Francis, and cuts the lead to 8. Francis now in double figures with 10 points.
Gary, we want to keep our eye on the foul situation, as Louisville has Kimbrough and Spencer with 3, but Ohio State has Brown, Carter, and White all with 3 fouls. That could be a factor here with 15 minutes to go in the second half.
Spencer comes back in as Denny Crum started Cornelius Holden at the center spot. Not wanting Spencer to pick up that 4th foul early in the second half. We've played 5 minutes in the second half. 8-point lead for the Cardinals. There's Spencer, kicks it out to Payne. Good ball movement to Bradford Smith, and Tony White was in his face, and he could not shoot the ball. And Burson didn't see the pass.
You do not pass the ball to a guy with his back to you, and Francis tried that right there.
Look at that, though. Burson got it back anyway.
Great save by Burson.
He's something, isn't he? Is he an amazing kid?
He's all over the floor. He's everywhere.
51-43 in favor of the Cardinals. Here's Burson, who had 12 points in the first half, 5 of 8 from the field. In it goes. Jamal Brown, tough shot. Rebound, White. That's what he does. He is an excellent position guy on the offensive board.
Gary Williams feels that his rebounding and his defense are his greatest asset. Points are just bonus.
So Tony White, the senior, coming up for the basket, and now it's 51-45. Payne, again, not able to get that shot to drop. Jamal Brown on the move. Keith Williams stops his move inside. Burson, baseline to Grady Mateen. Head fake. White tries to come up with it. Instead, it's Keith Williams. To LaBradford Smith. LaBradford will pull up with one, and he gets this one a 3-pointer. LaBradford with 10 points. He's averaging just under 12 a game. (54-45) in favor of Louisville.
Burson was actually calling for the lob right there, Jerry, as he reversed his man, went under the basket.
Francis on the move, gets it to Burson, and Burson nails it. 2-pointer. 54-47. Burson, his first 2 points of the second half. Kind of a gritty, determined Ohio State team. LaBradford Smith with another jumper. Crimbo tries to follow. White at it, and he's fouled. And Tony White now is doing yeoman work on the boards.
He's really working both boards, offensive and defensive. And just had great position that time.
That's the 4th foul, by the way, on Spencer. So Belton Spencer now with 4 fouls.
And he sits down, and this is going to be a factor for Louisville. Although Holden's doing a great job inside, giving them that good intimidation defensively and rebounding.
Everett Sullivan is now checked in for the Cardinals. And this is Eli Brewster, who played well in the first half. Burson again, 3-pointer. Sullivan tries to track it down. Burson batted it off of him. It'll be Ohio State's ball.
That's a rebound for Burson. He chased it down all the way in the corner after the 3-point attempt.
There's the foul difficulty. Spencer with 4. Francis. At the time, they look like they're going to get some operating room. Ohio State whittles away, and they're back within 5 points. There's the foul. It'll go on Brewster.
He doesn't think he fouled.
Second foul on Brewster. Already 5 team fouls against Ohio State, and we have 12:20 to play in this game. LaBradford Smith at the line. Last year, LaBradford Smith tried to do too much for this Louisville team. A starter as a freshman, the first true freshman to open the season at the point guard spot. He has 10 points, now 11. He's 5 of 6 from the line. But Smith has really changed his game to fit within the framework of what Denny Crum wants.
I think that speaks well of him, Gary. And he wasn't a true point guard and had to assume that role when Williams was out. And I think he's playing much more relaxed and within himself, but he has tremendous talent.
He high jumped 6'10" in high school one time. There's Carter, blocked by Holden. Mateen tried to come up with it. And here's little Burson again. Can you believe this guy?
Hey, Gary, Carter can't score inside against Holden, but Burson can with a great fake.
He is sneaky quick. Out it comes to Everett Sullivan. Brewster almost fouled him. Keith Williams moves in, and as he moved in, he's fouled. Foul on Jerry Francis.
Oh, boy, Gary, I got to see this again. That was just tremendous. Look at these Giants going up inside. Really, look who comes up with the ball. Right under the basket, Holden right there. He puts him in the air, and there's a clear shot at the basket. Just a heads-up play.
Francis committed his third foul. We'll be back. A 5-point lead. And guess who beat him? Barry Goheen of Vanderbilt. He's done it time and time again. The buzzer beater. The 5th time in his career he's been able to pull it off. And that started Louisville's season out 0-2 as they lost the initial game of the year to Xavier. But 14 in a row now, and get well soon Pervis certainly is the theme of the day.
And that was an Ohio State fan holding that sign up, Gary. They want him to get well, but not back in this game.
Well, he won't be back in this one. Here's Keith Williams, three-pointer. And Grady Mateen goes high, the 7-footer, a transfer from Georgetown.
Doing a great job on the board for Ohio State.
Trigg Lee brings it out now to Brewster, kicked out of bounds. It'll be Ohio State's basketball.
Hey, that would have been 3 if that pass had got to Burson over there in the corner. There was no one to guard it.
Mateen, by the way, has 7 rebounds to back up what you were talking about. Burson trying to shake loose. They get it instead to Brewster. Changed his shot and still got it. You can see Brewster really starting now to come on.
Well, Gary Williams said that he's really coming into his own right now. That usually happens.
3-point game. Again, Brewster, along with Trigg Lee, couldn't play last year due to academic ineligibility. And both have had a tough battle back to be a factor on this Buckeye team.
This zone defense has really been good for Ohio State. It gives them a chance to front and play behind the low post with the point man on the zone, who happens to be Trigg Lee right now, dropping in front.
Kimbrough comes into the ball game now. Keith Williams will lead. That ball deflected out of bounds by Ohio State. Baseline, Kenny Payne. Payne, who's been shooting 50% from the 2-point range, 52% from the 3-point. Hit that one, a 2-pointer. He has 7 for the game. 58-53. Mateen gets up the ball to Brewster. Jay Burson, and look who's on him. Kimbrough jumps out on him.
Louisville plays a switching man-to-man. And Kimbrough switched off on Burson right then.
You talk about a mismatch, but it doesn't matter.
Hey,
it does not matter. 6'7" against 5'11 and a half. If you want to be honest, I'm sure Burson isn't even 6 foot.
What are you going to do? He shoots it from outside, and he drives on the big man. He's really a phenomenon.
18 points for Jay Burson. Approaching 10 minutes to go in the game. Everett Sullivan gets it back out to LaBradford Smith.
You know, I'm impressed with Burson's toughness, too, Gary.
Here's Payne, little jump hook. Kenny Payne now has answered with 2 field goals. 9 points for the game. 5-point lead again for the Cardinals. Brewster handling the ball. Off to Burson. Burson finds more ways to find an open lane, an open shot.
This is Burson versus Payne right now.
It's the Jay Burson show. 60-57. Louisville by 3. 20 points for Burson. He also has 6 rebounds.
Payne's wanting that 3-pointer over here. He's staying outside the line on the weak side.
Sullivan. Excellent shooter. 62-57. He was a runner-up to Stanley Roberts, who's gone to LSU for Player of the Year in South Carolina. Out it comes to Brewster. Brewster handling this pressure pretty well.
Ohio State likes to throw over that press. They'll throw that long pass, try to beat the press down court.
Mateen is fouled by Cornelius Holden.
Good smart move by Mateen as he got him in the air and had the move there to draw the foul after he got him in the air, and that was smart play by him.
Grady Mateen is an excellent student. We mentioned he played at Georgetown 2 years for John Thompson, then transferring to Ohio State. He's from Akron. They call him the Aristotle of the team. He's always philosophizing. He's always having something to say about some issue. Very bright kid. And he and Gary Williams have really been able to adjust to each other.
I always have 3 or 4 of those philosophers on my team, Joe.
Thus far, Mateen has not scored in the ball game, even though he has 7 rebounds. So Spencer with 4 fouls will wait to come back in at a later stage.
I imagine that Denny will put him in with about 6 minutes to go. He's giving him a good rest. And the rest itself will help keep him from fouling.
Mateen is 62% free throw shooter, taking a lot of time, isn't he? But he got him. 3-point game. 9 minutes to go.
A little half-court trap right here by Ohio State as they vary their presence.
Bradford pulls up, brings it out to Sullivan. 3-pointer. And the rebound by Carter. Carter outlet to Lee, intercepted by Smith. He telegraphed that one. Look at that. Bradford Smith making a statement. 64-59. They have the 5-second count, and they have turned the ball over. Brewster had 5 seconds counted against him, and Louisville will have the basketball. He could not hear a thing. It was so deafening. Did not see the official, Phil Bova, starting the count behind him, and 5 seconds elapsed.
What athletic ability by Smith, and courage also, Gary, as he took that ball right to Perry Carter.
Bradford Smith, with that dunk a while ago, has fired up this crowd. Here is a 3-pointer by Payne. Just not going for him today. Sullivan puts it up. Carter's got it. Now Carter starting to do a good job on the defensive boards. Reach around attempt by Sullivan. Brewster gets it off to Burson. Burson, an explosive first step. Rebound, Carter. And that's what Carter needs to do. Gary Williams sorely missing his ability to bring it back up on the board.
He's getting in a little more active in the game, and his defensive rebound has kind of stimulated that, but he needs to score at the other end.
3-point game again. This place right now is in an uproar. There's the steal by Trig Lee. Lee, breakaway to Burson. 22 points for Burson. 1-point ball game. They trail by as many as 13.
Gary Williams up on the sideline, really stretching that coach's box.
And Bradford Smith with a 3-pointer. 67-63. Bradford now with 17 points. Strong second half. Brewster off to Trig Lee. Lee out of the same high school that produced Kellogg, the outstanding All-American for the Buckeyes. He's going to have to get rid of the ball, and now gets it off to Perry Carter.
Outstanding defense by Louisville right now. They're really putting the pressure on Ohio State. Just to rotate the ball. They get it on that sideline, they're overplaying everyone.
Burson in the side paint. Rebound clear by Holden. Burson almost comes up with it and commits the foul. Second foul on Burson. He just dips and darts and squirts around.
He almost had that rebound. It got away from him, and then he grabbed the wrist.
That is the 17th foul. And so they'll be shooting free throws. It'll be 1-1.
With 6 minutes and 35 seconds, Spencer's coming back in the game.
Comes in with 4 fouls, 6:35 left. Spencer will be a guy that's going to really have to even continue to improve with the injury to Pervis Ellison. But as we mentioned, he has been vastly improved. Payne at the line for the first time today. He has 9 points. Rebound by Burson.
Louisville going with a couple of freshmen here, Sullivan and Holden.
They've had a trio of freshmen who played so well this year, averaging 15 points amongst the three of them. 6:20 to go in the game. Some pushing and shoving between Lee and Spencer inside. The cutter is Francis. Fakes him up, beautiful pass, and Grady Mateen finishes it off. That was a heads-up play by Francis.
Good pass by Francis, and Mateen playing heads-up ball. You know, Ohio State's not getting the floor spread enough for Burson to make his penetrating move. I look for him to come with an offense that spreads a little more.
Kimbrough can't get it, and Spencer is fouled out. Felton Spencer has fouled out of the ball game at the 5:50 mark. Holden will come back in.
He did not last the full minute, Gary.
That's the third time he's fouled out this season, as Kimbrough's shot not finding the mark. 2-point lead for Louisville. ABC's college basketball will return after this message and a word from our local stations. All of them coming from the free throw line. Kimbrough with 3 and 4 Buckeyes with 3 each. 5:50 left to go in the game. A 2-point lead for Louisville.
Louisville in their press.
Brewster picked up by Sullivan. Brewster playing heady basketball in the second half. Baseline, Francis changed the shot, and he's fouled. Holden committing the foul. This is the guy now that's just come in to replace Felton Spencer, who fouled out. And Holden's going to see a lot more playing time with the injury to Pervis Ellison. He's a leaper at 6'7". And at the line will be Francis. Third foul in the ball game against Cornelius Holden.
Francis, an 80% shooter, Gary, and I'm not going to jinx him. You watch this. I don't do like you do.
All right. Uh-oh. You just did. That was his first attempt from the line, and he missed it.
Gary Williams, a real competitor, giving encouragement on the sideline. They could sell his seat, Gary.
He's never been there. It's a 1-point game as he's able to hit the second one. 67-66 Louisville. Crowd of over 19,000 here today.
Both teams are in a bonus now, Gary.
5:28 to go in the game.
Louisville really spreading the floor right here. They got their 3-point shooters on the wing. Sullivan on one wing, Payne on the other. That really stretches the defense because they got to be concerned about those good shooters.
Payne 3-point attempt. Holden tries to keep it alive, and Mateen has yet another rebound. Out it comes to Brewster, in a little trouble, gets it off to Trent Lee.
Boy, he just lucky passed that one. Lee just happened to be there. He had to throw it because he was falling out of bounds.
Louisville is 5 of 21 from 3-point range. It's deserted them today. Baseline Francis, and it's batted out by Louisville. Coming up next, Big Ten action from West Lafayette. Gene Katie's Purdue Boilermakers against Bill Frieder's Michigan Wolverines.
Ohio State with a chance to go ahead right here. They're really pounding the ball inside. Louisville's jamming up the middle with a real sagging defense.
Person listening to Gary Williams as he'll come out now and set it up. Williams,
Louisville in the zone now.
Always seemingly has this team's attention. Person, that quick explosive step, takes it around and in, and Ohio State has the lead.
Did you see that head fake? That change of pace and then quick acceleration to the basket. That's a patented move by Jay Burson.
24 points for Burson. Kimbrough inside to Holden. The ball batted out. It'll be the Buckeyes basketball.
Looked like Holden lost the handle, but the Louisville fans call it for a foul.
4:02 to go. What an uphill battle it's been for the Buckeyes now with a 1-point lead. Burson. Incredible. Just incredible.
Hey, a box and one. Smith was chasing Burson then. He broke loose and got the ball and the shot.
Timeout.
Burson, and this is a play that gave him the lead. Burson moved to the ball and then took it all the way down the side. Look for Ohio State to go for Burson right here in the last, and I'm sure that Louisville realizes that, and they may use this diamond one or boxing one on him.
Burson came back to hit another shot. He has 26 points, 12 of 20 from the field to go with 7 rebounds. 3-point lead for the Buckeyes. Payne trying to tie it up. Rebound cleared by Trig Lee. Out it comes to Brewster. To Grady Mateen. Mateen at 7 foot, keeping his poise. Blocked. And up and in anyway.
Ohio State with the upper hand right here as Carter is taking care of that defensive board.
That basket will be credited that time to Brewster, who was the guy inside. 3-pointer by LaBradford Smith, who's played outstanding basketball in the second half, a 2-point lead.
Burson fussed at himself after Smith made that one. Ohio State was in their 1-2-2 zone, and that was Burson's man.
19 points for Smith. Inside, 3 minutes to go. Pass, baseline, Trig Lee, and a nice pass by Francis, who seems to distribute the ball so effectively. Back to a 4-point lead now for the Buckeyes.
Trig Lee having a super game.
LaBradford Smith. Lee's got it, and he is going to have, nope, it's going to be a foul on Lee. Lee commits the foul. That's his first.
Gary Williams says, what's going on? He had all ball. He had the ball.
You mentioned how effectively Lee has played. Both he and Brewster, the two Prop 48 guys, have really been a factor today. Coming up next, Michigan, Purdue. Right now, 2:33 left. 4-point lead for the Buckeyes. 4 points for this man, Cornelius Holden. And that is his first free throw attempt.
I wasn't going to say a word about his free throw shooting, Joe.
Here's Keith Williams now coming back in. And checking out will be Everett Sullivan.
Coach Crum getting a little more experience in the game right now.
Holden now can cut it to 2. 2 with 2:33 left to go.
Pressed by Louisville.
Grady Mateen just literally hands the ball off to Brewster. Back to Grady.
Put it in Burson's hands.
When you put it in his hands, everybody seems to settle down. Francis intended for Mateen. Broken up, back to Mateen.
Great. The play was by Burson, who couldn't get control of that ball, but he volleyballed it over to Mateen.
He's done it all.
He could be a good setup man in the volleyball.
Trig Lee deflects it. 4-point lead for the Buckeyes. Inside, 2 minutes to go.
Spread offense right here. As Ohio State has backed it out, trying to spread this floor. And this is where Burson is at his best.
They'll start that shuffle offense outside, trying to kill the time. 25 seconds on the shot clock. Burson.
He likes this. He's got the floor spread.
As he goes inside, he's fouled. The foul on Smith. And Smith not happy about it.
This is Burson's time, Gary. He's got that floor spread where the seams are available to him, and he'll cut those seams. Look at Smith. Moved to try to close him out there. But he saw that seam, and he went right for it.
When you're small as he is, you can really go through some of those seams. Smith with his 3rd personal foul. And Burson, who is 17th in the nation in free throw shooting, shot that one, as Joe was mentioning earlier. He just shoots it on the move. Got them both. And now we're going to have a substitution. Perry Carter will come in for Grady Mateen for Gary Williams' team. 1:31 to go. A 6-point lead for the Buckeyes. Payne, 3 points. Rebound, Carter. And Ohio State now has this game going their way.
I wonder how many defensive rebounds Carter's got in the last 10 minutes. He has really been a force on that board.
Ohio State in no hurry. milking the clock, and now 1-1 as Francis is fouled outside by Keith Williams.
The fouls on Williams, number 3, is first.
So Carter, to answer your question, has 10 rebounds. We talked about the battle for number 1 Thursday. Minnesota upset Illinois, and yesterday in the Superdome, LSU over Georgetown. That left Louisville with a chance to claim the number 1 spot. Well, they're in a heap of trouble right now with a minute to go, trailing by 6. The fourth-place team, the fourth-rated team, did win. That was Oklahoma against UNLV. We'll be back. Williams is seeking his 10th win over a top 20 team since he's been at Ohio State. Right now, he's a minute away from that. He has a 6-point lead. Louisville has a 14-game winning streak on the line, and also trying somehow to pull this one out and move into the top-ranked spot of the country come Monday morning.
And they're trying to do it without their 2 big men, Jerry. And you have to give Louisville a lot of credit for great effort down the stretch here with Spencer fouled out and Ellison in the locker room receiving treatment.
This team doesn't lose in Freedom Hall very often. 409 and 64 is their record. They've won 86% of the games in the 33 years that Louisville has called this their home.
I think Gary Williams really did a good job of having his team motivated for this game.
They trail by as many as 10 in the second half, 51-41. Trail by 13 in the first half. And now have their biggest lead of the game, 79-72.
What a disastrous position that heir apparent to number 1 seems to be, Gary.
That's what Denny feared. 8-point lead with 59 seconds. Well, Oklahoma may be number 1 now. Here's LaBradford Smith from 3, and don't count out this Louisville team yet.
This game's not over. 2 possessions for Louisville could do it.
And there almost was one of them. Burson has it broken up by Smith. He's got it off to Holden. To Keith Williams. Williams got it. And it's a 3-point game. Timeout called, 31 seconds. Louisville stops the clock. All of a sudden, an 8-point lead has been whittled to
3. They put the pressure on Burson. He almost lost it once, but Smith follows his dribble from behind and picks his pocket. And Williams makes a great move right here, gets great height on his jump shot, and cuts that lead to 3.
Right now, Ohio State has 2 timeouts remaining. Louisville 1. The possession arrow points to Louisville. Both teams are in the 1-1.
Let's see how Ohio State attacks this press. They'll want to. They may throw long. They're good at throwing long against the press.
Well, they don't have their long guy in there. Usually it's Joe Dumas they bring in for that.
That's right, but I see Francis is anxious to make a backdoor cut on Holden right here.
Instead, Trigg Lee will inbounds the ball, and he gets it in to Francis.
And they quickly give it to Burson.
They want him at the free throw line as Kimbrough commits the foul.
Well, you want that ball in the hands of your best free throw shooter in this situation. And Ohio State did an excellent job getting it to Burson.
4 fouls on Tony Kimbrough. Burson at the line. Burson 4 of 4 from the stripe. He has 28 points.
And he's going to step up to shoot this free throw. He's back in the free throw circle. The referee hands it to him. He steps up and shoots.
Now 5 of 5 from the stripe.
All right,
7 seconds left.
That point caused Louisville to have 2 more possessions.
And Burson missed one. 81-77. They've got to get a 3-pointer underway. Williams instead with a 2-pointer, and the rebound cleared by Mateen. Out it comes to Brewster.
Big rebound.
He is triple teamed and fouled.
Good defense by Lee. He went up. He got those arms high in the air. He didn't foul. And Mateen had the perfect position on the weak side of that board.
Holden committing the personal foul. That is his 4th personal foul.
Good defense right here by Trigg Lee. And you'll see Mateen on the weak side where that ball comes off 80% of the time, but it's Burson that comes up with it, and that's his 8th rebound of the game.
So what a job Mateen has done on the board. 1-1 now for Brewster, his first free throw of the game. 82-77. So Ohio State had won 8 of their last 10 games. They were 4-3 on the road and unbeaten in St. John Arena.
A great effort this afternoon by the Louisville Cardinals under really adverse situations.
But Bradford wants to put a three-pointer underway. Desperation shot. Kimbrough tries to put it up, and he's fouled by Trig Lee. Lee has really played his best game of the year, committing his 2nd foul. Both he and Brewster now will be more and more of a factor for Gary Williams. Their confidence starting to really come out. Coming up, Michigan, Purdue. Kimbrough at the line with 6 seconds.
He will have 2. 6 points down, Gary. I think it's all over.
So Billy Tubbs and the Oklahoma Sooners will be watching very closely the poll as it comes out on Monday.
Well, they've got to face that situation down, the pressure of being number 1 or possibly being number 1.
Denny Crum didn't want their team to think about it. And right now, going down to their 3rd loss of the year after winning 14 in a row.
Well, Gary, I wouldn't say that Louisville came out apparently thinking about it. I thought they opened the game really strong, and it wasn't until they got Ellison in foul trouble that it seemed to hurt their game.
Brewer, who was sent in to commit the foul, commits the foul. And with 2 seconds left, Ohio State has come into Freedom Hall, and they are going to upset the 3rd-ranked team in the country. So the top 3 teams have lost this week. Illinois Thursday, yesterday afternoon Georgetown, and here today the Cardinals of Louisville. Pervis Ellison, of course, if you joined us late, was hurt in the remaining 30 seconds of the first half. He suffered a sprained collateral ligament.
Medial collateral ligament.
And was having whirlpool treatment. And we don't know how long that injury will keep him out. 85-79. That's going to be the final. Ohio State, a stunning upset. And thanks to our statistician, George Hill, for a very fine job. Jay Burson